Apart from that, there were also some other people in the room, but she wasn't able to recall any particulars about them. I guess those must have been the rest of us, huh?
Guess so. Though I have no idea why I would have been there.
Well, there is one more person she recognized. Oh, well, kind of. When she first woke up, she was strangely sure, about having already seen the third member of her team as well. However, it turned out to be nothing more than a mix-up. Would have been a crazy coincidence if it wasn't too. Because she was very sure about that person's name being Evelyn.
Oh. Oh, I get it. Oh, goodness. Was that person's actual name, by any chance, Elizabeth?
He nods. Guess we were right on the money then. We already assumed as much, discussing it over in the QT.
Ah, a twin?
You two are twins, eh?
She nods. I nod. To myself, for no particular reason. That Null really is a cruel bastard. Evelyn's situation isn't all that different from my own. We can't save ourselves without sacrificing someone close to us. Interesting. So that must mean... So I know Sophie. Evelyn knows Elizabeth. Valerie must know the other guy, Eric. Was Eric his name? Fuck. I could have sworn it was Eric. Yeah, Eric. Okay, so Valerie must know about Eric, but she's just not saying anything. Great, so what's next? We were there. Now we're here. What happened?
Oh well, that's the part both of us remembered rather clearly. Though, in all honesty, it's not all that spectacular. The lights turned off, a white smoke filled the waiting room, and we all started dropping to the floor, one after another. Oh, okay. So, confirmed, we were all at the Neuralink Center in A3. All of us. That's how he got us all. Evelyn and Elizabeth, I'm pretty sure, were working there at the time. Oliver was there to get a Neuralink implanted. Me and Sophie were going there to try and talk with Emilia's father. So now, all we need to figure out is the connection between Valerie, Eric, and Emilia. That's what's going on. See, look at me. I'm smart. I'm so smart. Kind of. That's all. Didn't even get to see any of those responsible for it. Not that it'd help us.
Not sure what I expected. I guess that's the simplest method for knocking out a group of people, and without getting your hands dirty, too. But... yeah, sorry. Doesn't jog my memory. That. Yes. Yes, it's the same way for me. I'm sorry to admit. I wonder why she was able to recall so much. Well, I got my theory. There's one thing the two of them have in common. I wonder why I haven't thought of this sooner. Are you hang on. Oh, my throat's dry. Are you really... Yeah. And you really remembered stuff after hearing her story, huh?
Yes. Though it's still much more of a haze than it seems to be for that girl. I guess age is simply catching up with me. Haha.
Oh yeah, sure. 'Cause we're so old, right? Come on, who are you kidding?
Ha, no, sorry. I wasn't really considering any of you. There was something else I forgot to mention. One trait that the girl and I share.
Oh! Oliver and Sophie don't have Neuralinks, do they?
Which is why we probably remember more than y'all. Any idea what it could be?
I already figured it out, man. Neither of you have Neuralinks. An awkward silence fills the room, and everybody just waits for him to continue. But he doesn't. Instead, he looks at our faces, waiting for someone to speak up. Do I have to look at it? Do I have to look it up? Neuro... That's not how you spell it. Neuralink. That's not how you spell it either. God damn it. Why can't I remember? Ah! Why can't I remember how to spell it? What if I do L-I-N-K? Nanologs. Oh, N-E-U-R. Oh, that's not right. N-E-U-R-O. Neuro. L-I-N-K. I know I was playing as if it was a Neuralink Center, the one in A3. I think it was going to be because you can't really tell what the cutoff was. Wait, do you not possess a Neuralink? Yeah, probably. Then what does your Neuralink know? Okay, he doesn't have a Neuralink. See, that's me. This is me remembering it. This is me looking at it. Can I say it? But nobody does. Like in a seminar that nobody actually wanted to attend. He really wants someone to guess that badly, huh? Alright, I'll bite. Does she maybe not have a Neuralink either?
Exactly.
Wow, how did I guess?
Well, keep in mind that I don't know whether that's the actual reason. But with the two of us being the only ones without one here, and clearly remembering at least some of the things that happened right before this, it's a fair assumption to make, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that checks out. Especially since we already knew he clearly tampered with our implants, deleting our log and all. But is that really something you can just do? Delete someone's memories via Neuralink? Well, not under normal circumstances at least. Not very reassuring. And under abnormal circumstances? God damn it. And under abnormal circumstances? Oh my god, I've been going on too long. Whew. Alright, come on. And under abnormal circumstances? Let's just say it isn't impossible, but it isn't something that can be done without very specific pieces of equipment that only Neuralink centers should have access to.
Precisely where all this started, huh? Seems to fit the bill, if you ask me.
Let's not forget what this place is, either. Not out of the question for someone like that to still be around here, You might be right about that, but then the matter of qualification arises. It's not like most people would know how to use this kind of technology, you see. Damn. I mean, wasn't a secret that Null knew more than your average Joe about this stuff. Or you want to tell me that anyone could have just went and deleted my log whenever they felt like it? No, of course not.
Are you sure Null himself was actually responsible for that, though? He managed to infiltrate that center after all, kidnapping a bunch of people. How can we be sure that he didn't hold some scientists at gunpoint, forcing them to do this stuff?
Yes, that sounds like something a person like him could accomplish.
Oliver gets up from his chair, picking up his long, empty plate to put it away. Either way, that's all the relevant stuff I can share with you for now. At least as far as I remember. Can't just check my log, you know.
Don't worry. Don't worry, that was plenty.
How unusually kind of her. Wait, was that meant to be kind? Because I didn't say it in a kind way. I'm just glad neither of them has mentioned me. I'm not sure how I could have talked my way out of that one. Not that it can't still end up happening, but that's a problem for future me. I'll figure out a good excuse by then. After a short pause, through which nothing but the clattering of dishes remained to be heard, Valerie finally sighs and gets up as well.
I guess it's my turn now, isn't it? Wanna head back to the living room?
You sure? Really trust me enough now, despite not really fulfilling your request at all?
Evelyn already told you, didn't she? That was the right answer. I didn't expect her to know who I am. You were spot on.
I thought it was weird when she first said it, but now that I know for sure that Emilia didn't show any reaction towards hearing my name, I guess it would be a stretch to say I can't relate. Okay, well, I guess we'll get into that then. Wanna head to the living room again? Did someone already ask that?
Sure, let's do that. And we do just that. Everyone sits down, and Valerie gathers her thoughts. With anticipation filling the air, she speaks up. Before I even spoke to Emilia, I actually met her parents. Well, met is not really the right word. It's not like I really saw them, or perceived them at least. Just like all the other people you meet on a daily basis, just walking down the street or sitting in a restaurant. You see them being there, but since you don't attach any particular meaning to them being there, you wouldn't remember who those people were or what they looked like. That's what it was like. Just that. Despite not having interacted with them in any way, I clearly remember the fact that they were there, in that parking lot, in some small town outside the zones. That's because I know that my mother and I, were walking past that car just as they were getting in, and it blew up.
Wait, hold on, what? My mother and I were walking past their car just like that. Are you talking about Emilia? That's not what it was like. She met her parents. Wait a minute. Hang on. She was on her way to meet up with Emilia's father, Professor Jacob. Jacob Neiman. Okay. So, that's... Okay. So, Emilia's father and her mother were in some sort of explosion. Obviously, trying to kill them. Cars don't just explode. Well, I shouldn't say that. They explode all the time. But it blows up, and I'm guessing that the mother is the only one that died, with leaving Jacob Neiman alive. Now, was this before or after the kidnapping? That's the real question. Oh, that's what this is about. She was involved in all that?
It blew up.
Stuff like that happens outside the zones.
Not that it's nearly as common as some like to claim, but yeah. I guess stuff like that does happen. It clearly did. There've been a bunch of rumors and theories flying around. Some suspect it was an assassination attempt on her father or something.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing, actually. Because, I mean, he's one of the higher-ups in Neuralink, ain't he?
But personally, I don't really give a shit. The only thing that I care about is the fact that I was hospitalized for months afterwards.
Oh. So, collateral. Unfortunate.
Standing so close to the explosion, my body was a mess. I've been through more surgeries than I can count. Large portions of my body were replaced by artificial limbs.
Oh shit, really? Must have been quite an expensive procedure, eh? Not like the corpse would bat an eye at stuff like that happening outside their precious zones.
True. I guess I shouldn't complain. Truth is, my father could have never afforded it. Emilia's father paid for the whole thing, clearly feeling responsible for what happened. Almost getting some kid killed. Who'd want that on the back of their mind? I'm glad it ended up so well. Medical science has come a long way, hasn't it?
You can say that again. Artificial limbs? We got a goddamn cyborg with us. That's cool. Alright, no, this feature's looking even more cool. I mean, it's still kind of messed up, but it's got, why all the messed up features got the coolest stuff? Would have never even noticed she had any surgery to begin with, much less that any of her limbs were artificial.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's nothing anyone would notice. Even I didn't notice any difference between my real and fake parts. The way they move and feel is pretty much identical. Just wish I didn't have to get a Neuralink to use them.
Oh. So she'd never had a Neuralink before the explosion, but because she was given the artificial limbs, she was forced to get a Neuralink. Ah. She sighs. I see.
Well, I'm not sure That's not.
I'm sure you couldn't care less about all this. It's whatever. Point is, I was spending a lot of time lying around. My father barely even took the time out of his busy schedule to visit me. But someone else did. Emilia.
Oh, really?
Both her parents were heavily injured, especially her mother. She ended up in an even more severe condition than I did.
Ah, okay. So it was a failed assassination attempt on the father. It seems as though he was kind of fine. The mother sustained critical injuries. The daughter wasn't with them. And Valerie also sustained a lot of injuries as well. Interesting.
And so, Emilia came to visit her pretty regularly. And at some point, she started stopping by my room as well. I was barely 7 years old, just started going to school. She was already 12, practically an adult to me. An adult who actually listened to me, who I believed understood how I felt, at least somewhat. She was the only piece of hope I had, while I never knew whether I would survive another day. Whether I even wanted to, with how much my body was being torn apart. Went all ship of thesis on her. All the doctors tried to calm me down, but I never trusted anything they said. They just repeated the same empty words of consolation, wanted to make me shut up. But even Emilia told me that everything would be okay. I believed her right away. That I was more than my body. That's really all it took. Dumb, isn't it? But that's what I believe. Saved me. That's why I never forgot about her.
Valerie is still managing to keep a straight face, but it definitely feels as though she could burst into tears at any moment. Yeah, that's a sad story, actually. Getting a bunch of your body blown up, trying to get it replaced, and having to go like, oh no, I'm no longer me anymore. No, you're more than your parts. The parts is the sum of your whole, or something like that. I don't know. At least, that's how I see it. She stays quiet for a moment, regaining her composure.
I'm terribly sorry to hear that. I can only imagine how... Yeah, can we please skip that? Just go straight to what you want to ask. Of course, sorry. In all honesty, I don't quite understand why you expect that she wouldn't remember you. Maybe she didn't have quite as much of an impact on her life as she did on yours.
Oh, maybe you didn't have quite an impact. Maybe you weren't important enough to her.
But she still took the time to visit you during such a formative part of her youth. I would agree that it wouldn't have been strange for her to remember something like that at all. True, it wouldn't have been, and honestly, she might still remember if you asked her about what I just told you. That was never my point. My point was that she wouldn't recognize my name because she simply doesn't know that my name is Valerie. You never told her your name. But wait, wouldn't she have no... Let's leave it at that.
Okay, I didn't get to read that whole thing. God.
But wait, wouldn't she have known it in order to find the room you were staying?
Leave it at that. Shut up.
Whatever she might still remember about that time, she wouldn't have remembered it she wouldn't have remembered it after being told about someone named Valerie.
She sighs.
Well, as you can see, I was right about that much.
Can't deny that. I mean, can you? Because, like Oliver said, Emilia still doesn't have, like, all her memories. And she's been gone for, like, 2 years. Who knows what's happened in all that time? Ah, man. Nobody says anything for a while. Is that it? She really wants to pretend that this is the whole story? It just doesn't match up at all. I can't just let her leave it at that, can I? So,
Oh, right. You're still here.
Sometimes I forget that fact myself. Yeah, just to get this straight, that's the only period of time in which you met with Emilia?
Obviously. I mean, if we keep seeing each other, she would have probably known my name, right? So yeah, she just kept visiting me whenever she came over to see her mother, until she didn't anymore, because her mother was no longer there. Just goes to show how much I meant to her, huh?
She picked her words very carefully there. I don't get the feeling that she's lying about anything in particular, but she is definitely still hiding some things. I know, because I know how the story ends. Emilia told me about it. Sophie did too. Mother died, didn't she? I know what happened to her mother, and she has to know too. And that's not the only thing she has to know. There's more that she's trying to keep secret for some reason. I wonder why. I need to keep digging.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming her for that. I'm not blaming anyone for anything. I don't think she's a bad person for wanting to keep in touch with some random child in the hospital, for not wanting to keep in touch with some random child in the hospital. I'm just saying that that's why I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't end up remembering me at all. I don't even have any way to know whether she wanted to come and see me in the first place, or whether her father just asked her to do so, feeling guilty about what happened to me. Thinking it's the right thing to do, while not even having the courage to do it himself. So, did her mother ever visit you?
Oh, so, did her mother ever visit you? At least, when she got discharged. She shoots me an annoyed glance, clearly not wanting to talk about it. But she can't hide any longer, unless she wants to finally start lying for real. Ah! So now we're throwing in the trick questions.
No, she didn't. She might have, but she never actually got discharged.
Still dancing around it, though there is no room left for interpretation. Oh, you mean...
Yes.
I don't even need to finish my question. Everyone knows already. Downcast faces surround me, and I try my best to blend in. How envious I am of them, not having to act. Was this helpful? Did I manage to reveal something about Emilia?
Despite meeting her parents first, they are the ones I recall the least. It was only Emilia who just never managed to escape my mind. Meanwhile, she just went on with her life, together with her father, who survived with scars all over his body. Didn't even bother to get them removed, a reminder of what happened to his wife or whatever. Boo fucking who.
Oh man, okay. So, yeah, we're learning stuff. So yeah.
Assassination attempt on Emilia's father and the mother, collateral. It's basically an assassination attempt on Emilia's father, Mr. Neiman. The mother and Emilia were, just there. They were collateral. The mother was never able to recover, and she died. This was all, obviously, all before the kidnapping. So, that was just like another hard thing for the father to deal with. But it seemed as though he was still like trying to, keep going for the sake of the daughter. But once she was kidnapped, I'm assuming that's when he kind of started to cut off all ties, and as Evelyn said, just recede back into like wherever he went or whatever he was doing.
Okay. We're learning some stuff.
I think this might be important. I mean, it has to be when Emilia starts to, regain more of her memories, if she ever regains more of her memories. That could just be like she'll always be in a forgetful state.
Huh.